Well, our goal for this lecture is to revisit something that you already seen in high school, solving systems of equations. What we are going to do is to remember that, how to do that, and also how to recast that system of equations in under a new notation, the matrix vector notation, which will prove itself to be much more useful. We see here on the screen a very simple system with two equations, L1 and L2, with two unknowns, x and y. We have here the coefficients 1 and minus 4, the coefficients for x and y. Here they are, 1, minus 4. And the coefficient 2 and minus 6 are found here. So the variables x and y go into this column vector, and the right-hand side goes to 5, goes into the right column vector as well here. So what we find here is what's called a matrix, so a square of numbers, times multiplied by a column vector. How do we do this correspondence between left and right? The matrix times the vector is done like this. You multiply x by the first entry, multiply y by the second entry, and then like this. So you get x times 1 plus y times minus 4, and then x times 2 and y times minus 6, plus y times minus 6. So from the multiplication of a 2 by 2 matrix times a column vector, you get a column vector as well with two entries. The first entry is this calculation. The second entry is this calculation. So what you find here, the matrix times this column vector, is in fact a shorthand notation for this column vector that you find here. So you find here a column vector, this one, is equal to this column vector. And two column vectors are equal if their entries are the same, meaning the first entry here must be equal to this, and the second entry must be equal to the second entry here. But doing that, well, this is just the two rows that you find here, the two equations. It's useful to note that when we look at this, we find two equations with two unknowns, x and y. But when we look at this thing, we find one equation with just one unknown, and the unknown is this column vector. It is traditional to describe the matrix by the symbol A, the column vector by the symbol the x arrow is equal to the b here, the b vector.